Hello everybody, George from Beau Guitars.
And I'm Nick. What's up, folks?
Today we have a new offering from Mesa Boogie, the Badlander Rectifier, new and improved rectifier circuit. So let's talk a little bit about how this combo is laid out. So we have a cream back speaker in here. We have 50 watts of power, two EL34s, 512 AX7s. So this is a 2-channel amp. You could see the first row up here, second row down there. Each channel is basically blank in a sense that you could set it however you want. So each channel comes with a clean, crunch, and crush setting. So basically whether you need 2 cleans or a clean and a distortion, you could set it up however you like. Also, we have the cab clone IR in the back for going direct. This is pretty awesome new fire-breathing amp from Boogie. One thing I will say is that the clarity in this thing is amazing, whether you're like a guy or a girl who uses tons of high gain or you just want a nice clean tone. By the way, this also drops wattage from 50 watts to 25. We're going to show you a few examples of what this amp could do. Nick's going to be playing his Strat. He's going to talk a little bit about the pickups and configuration that you're going to be listening to. Also, this amp has a Variac, which means you could change the power and make it spongier or bolder sounding.
Yeah, I noticed that was definitely that was the toggle settings, right? Standby, bold, and Variac. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, so let's start with a clean tone. Again, nothing too crazy here. Seymour Duncan Antiquities, Fat 50s, middle and neck. These are low output pickups, so it's not going to hit the amp too hard. Your mileage will vary depending on the pickups you use, but just to give you guys a general idea of what's going on, low output pickups going into this amp. So here is the clean channel on the bridge pickup. Here's the neck pickup. We can, get a little softer. That might be too soft. Yeah, sounds pretty good.
Nice chimey clean tone.
Yeah, definitely chimey is the right word. Definitely feels and sounds like there's a lot of headroom there, even for 50 watts. Sounds nice and headroomy. Brilliance, the shimmer is there.
And we've talked about this before. What other high gain amp are you going to get a clean tone like this out of? It's very hard to get an amp that'll give you all the gain stuff, but then it's like something will be lacking in the clean tone. Not in this case at all.
Yeah. So, building off of that, usually if it's a high gain amp, your clean tone is usually pretty squashed.
Yeah.
And like compressed and flat, and there's no sort of like vibrance or life to it. Whereas here, as you'll see, right, the dirt and the grunge and the high power stuff is on point, and the cleans are actually very, I don't want to say vintagey, but they sound the way they should sound.
Yeah. And if you want to have no breakup, you could literally have no breakup. And
yes.
That's another nice feature of it.
Yeah. I mean, even, like we have it on the clean channel right now, even on the crunch, which is like the middle channel setting, I was getting nice clean tones with just a little bit of breakup. So that's another option as well. And, let's show that off now. Right, so here we're going to switch channel 1 to crunch. And this is...
Same EQ settings, by the way.
Yeah, we haven't changed anything. All we did was change it from clean to crunch. So, you know, obviously there's a lot more gain on that.
Oh yeah, you hear the breakup.
But if we back off the gain a little bit, right on the edge, you know, it gets you that nice bluesy, stratty tone.
Hair.
Yeah, that's realistically speaking, that's the way I like my clean. I like it a little dirty.
Okay.
So yeah, so that would be the crunch, a little bit of hair. Let's just have some fun and see what happens when we turn the gain up a little bit on the crunch. All right, so now bridge pickup again, here we go. Did that clip? Okay, because this thing gets...
It's pretty loud.
Definitely gets louder. Gets louder with the gain for sure. So here's, you know, a little bit of gain here. So the crunch channel is very dynamic.
Oh yeah.
Right, the crunch, you're gonna get that slightly hairy clean all the way to almost, the gain's halfway up.
Yeah, you're not even, yeah, you're at 50%, right?
Yeah, so you're gonna get that clean to that heavy distortion or heavy overdrive without an issue.
Yeah.
So let's now switch it down. Channel 2 we have preset to the crunch or crush? Crush. So this is on the crush setting.
That's awesome. Very dynamic, very articulate. Every pick motion that you're doing, I could hear come through the amp perfectly.
Yeah. So you know, when I play, I like those open, you know, 6-string chords or 5-string chords. Nice open notes. This thing just handles them with ease.
Absolutely. You hear every note. You hear the definition in the chord.
Yeah, the definition, the clarity is there, and you know, being you guys might figure this out. I'm a big pop punk guy. Like that's what I grew up on. That's what I live and breathe. This thing is doing all of that for me right now. Right, it's checking off all those boxes. It's got the responsive low end. Has a nice midsection which isn't too pronounced. Now, granted, you can tailor this however you want.
Absolutely.
Right, but for in the room here today, at home, in the bedroom, in the house, this thing is killing it.
Fast pick attack too, by the way.
Yeah. So let's just run through some other stuff. I'm going to play some more pop punk for you, and I want to show off how good this thing cleans up too, just with the use of the volume knob. Right. So here we go. This is full blast. Roll back a little bit. So we can do this.
Sounds awesome.
I mean, yeah, I'm having a blast playing this thing. It does all that cool stuff you're going to want it to do. Now, so, you know, we've shown you the clean, the little bit of hair, the pop punk aggressive tone. We're going to switch over guitars. George is going to play you some definitely more aggressive stuff. We're going to see how much we can max this thing out and what it'll take. So yeah, so we'll be right back after we do a quick swap.
as you could hear, it definitely has plenty of gain. And I just want to point out right now, it's turned up all the way, the gain. So rectifiers of past series, let's say, I think at this point we would be hearing tons of squealing. Exactly. And even, like, that's pretty relatively quiet. Also keep in mind, I'm using Fishman Fluence Tosinabasis, which are a powered pickup, so you're going to get the most amount of gain compared to the last guitar clip we showed you guys. So I'm just going to play, and then maybe Nick can twist some knobs or possibly go down to the 25-watt mode, and let's see what it sounds like.
Yeah, let's start. So we'll start with the 50-watt. First thing I'll do is I'll switch it down to 25, and then I'll twiddle some knobs.
Let's do it.
All right. All right.
Does that very, very, very well.
Yeah, I mean, the tone was perfect, right? The low end is there. It wasn't too fizzy. It wasn't like super, super, super out of control. It was just right where it needs to be.
And I barely changed the EQ. I mean, all we did was just add a little bit more gain and like maybe like a little bit of presence and treble.
Yeah, as I was messing around with it, really the only thing I did was I scooped it a little bit, just a touch, right? I just took the mids out a little bit and adjusted the presence as well. But I think ultimately, I think it sounds the best right around here.
Yeah.
And everything's pretty much straight up and down. The presence we did increase a little bit, but that's it. The interesting thing was switching from 25 to 50 watts. I don't know about you, and I don't know how it's going to pick it up on the camera. I did not hear much of a tonal change.
Yeah, it just seemed like a volume thing. I know in past boogies, when you're going to be dropping the volume, it'll make it like feel spongier when you're going to play. Which, speaking of that, why don't we see what the Variac? Why don't we check that out?
All right, so here we go. We're going to switch into Variac.
It's like, where did it go?
It's so metal. All right, so I mean, is there anything you noticed there between the Bold and the Variac?
Go back. Okay, definitely more definition in the pick attack. And I hate to use the word spongy again, but all of a sudden, like, my pick attack became a little looser when you would go to the Variac setting.
So something else I noticed, I don't know if it's a volume difference, if it's a slight volume difference, or if it's like an additional frequency coming in on the bold setting, but something definitely sounds either louder or something is added to your tone.
Absolutely.
It's hard to tell.
You definitely hear something.
There's an additional goodness that's put in when you're on the bold mode. Not saying it sounds bad in Variac. I'm just saying for me and my ears, the bold sounds a little bit better, a little bit clearer.
More defined.
Yeah. But a plethora of usable tones in Variac, for sure.
Absolutely.
So again, I mean, do we have anything else you want to show off in this?
I mean, unless you want to take out the Paul and strum a couple of chords on the Paul, just so we can
you know what? Let's do
kind
that.
of please everybody as far as what we used, what we didn't use.
So Lou is one of the owners here, and he has a really nice Les Paul, and I'm gonna play it, and I've never played it before.
You fart all over that.
Just gonna,
That's how you got to do it.
So okay, we've just been updated with this beautiful Les Paul, Alnico Pro 2. Is that what, Alnico Pro 2?
Alnico.
Nico Pro 2. Is there Alnico Pro 2 or Alnico 2?
I think it's an Alnico.
There's an Al and there's a 2.
Yeah.
And it's a magnet. And then this is a
59.
59.
So
from 1959.
It's going to have the cream straight up.
So here we go. This is hotter.
Oh, yeah.
We also had the gain up all the way.
Yeah. It does sound very good, though. I mean, it keeps its character.
Can't play that.
We'll
you can't play. Yeah, we'll get sued by the Aussies. So we're gonna just. Just make it sound terrible.
Just change it up a little bit.
But yeah, this thing is. Wrong chord at the end, but who cares? I mean, this thing is great.
Forget that. Wipe it from your memory.
Yeah, just like pretend I did something cool. That's the way to do this. But I mean.
Kind of sounds better. The Gibson with the Mesa. That's an interest. Oh, maybe it's because of all the things that have been going on lately. I think something is to be said about this combination. It's pretty awesome sounding.
Yeah, I mean, do we dare even like?
I guess you could say it's in the family. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, it sounds seriously. All joking aside, it sounds awesome. It really, it's to my ears, it's a little bit more full. The Les Paul, some of the lower frequencies kind of like popping out at you a little more. Even though my guitar has active pickups, it doesn't sound like that at all.
No, I mean, just
That is great.
Lou might never get this back. So
Just go out the back door.
I have, just as a preview for something that might be coming up in the videos, I have a Les Paul that I just purchased that we're gonna do like a before and after thing because I need some work done to it. The before might be my Les Paul and the after might just be Lou's. But we can't tell Lou because he'll murder me. But I'm gonna keep this forever and Lou's not gonna know.
He won't know. He'll never see this.
Yeah, he doesn't watch these.
Yeah, I mean, that was basically our little tone test, giving you guys and girls at home an idea of what this sounds like. Although it's going to sound absolutely killer on YouTube, I definitely recommend you come to Monde Guitars and check this out. Plug into it for yourself. Bring your own guitar, bring your pedals, you know, and really get a feel for what this can do. So now this is the combo version. They also make this in a head, and they also make it in a 100-watt head version as well. Figure out which one's kind of, you know, your flavor. And I definitely recommend getting your hands on one of these, seeing what they could do. Take out what you previously think of in your mind when you think of Rectifier. I would say definitely leave that behind and give this a shot, because it's very differently voiced.
Yeah. I mean, anytime anyone says Mesa, I think of the diamond plate steel.
Yeah.
And I think of like, you know, so, but this does it all.
Yeah.
This does everything. And we had a customer in here the other day who put not only one tube screamer in front of it, not only 2 tube screamers in front of it.
He'll remain nameless.
You put 3 tube screamers in front of it, and believe it or not, this thing
still sounded good.
Sounded fantastic. So, beaumondeguitars.com. Check us out on Instagram. Watch us on YouTube.
Like, subscribe, leave comments below. If you're that person that used those multiple tube screamers, leave comment in the section below.
Indeed.
Let us know. If you'd like to see the amp in another form, if you'd like to see us also do the head version when that comes in, please leave it in the comments below.
Absolutely. So for now, I'm Nick.
I'm George.
See you guys.